County Board meeting to order and rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
First item of business is the public comment period, and
Mad rush.
anyone wish to speak to the board? Going once, going twice, and three times, so we'll move on from that item to item 3, which is the approval of county board minutes for June 13th, 2017.
Approval. Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Jacobs, seconded by Commissioner Olson, to approve the county board minutes of June 13. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Next item is the acknowledgement of receipt of approved committee minutes for the Planning Commission for May 18th, 2017. Motion to acknowledge?
I'll move to acknowledge the minutes of Planning Commission.
Second, Marie?
Second is good. Yeah.
We have a motion by Commissioner Jacobs, seconded by Commissioner Kavesi, to approve, to acknowledge receipt of the approved committee minutes for the Planning Commission on May 18th. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Next item is consent comments and approval of the agenda. Ken?
I have nothing.
Marie?
I'll just give a short AMC board meeting summary, please.
Commissioner Walsh?
Nothing for me. One item.
One item, sir? County Attorney Sonneman?
Nothing for me.
Okay, thank you. Approval of the agenda?
Move to approve. Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Ward, seconded by Commissioner Kavesi to approve the agenda as submitted. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries with all voting aye. We'll go to our consent business, and Mr. Fritz.
I'll read the consent business into the record. 6.1, approved state of Minnesota income contract with the Winona Workforce Center for employment and training services. 6.2, approve monthly resolution. 6.3, approve renewal of grant project agreement between Winona County and the state of Minnesota for family home visiting, TANF. 6.4, approve renewal of grant project agreement with the state of Minnesota for public health emergency preparedness. 6.5, award bid of CASA 12 and County Road 104 resurfacing project of Rochester Sand and Gravel. 6.6, approve resolution approving master partnership contract with MnDOT. 6.7, approve application for county on-sale intoxicating liquor license, The Shed, Your County Bar and Grill. 6.8, approve Department of Employment and Economic Development deed master agreement for Workforce Development Board. 6.9, approve appointing Ken Fritz as interim community services director. 6.10, approve additional 1-year grace period to implement the uniform guidance procurement policy. 6.11, confirm payment of disbursements. That concludes the consent business.
I'll move to approve. Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Ward, seconded by Commissioner Kavesi to approve. Marcia, have a comment?
Yes, just a question. We have a business that wanted to do growler sales, and now that and that's been tied up somewhat. Now that we have was it July 1 Sunday liquor sales? Is it July 1 Sunday liquor sale? Does that help us streamline? I know we're still working on.
It's really not related to it. I talked to Sandra yesterday, the auditor treasurer yesterday, about this. She has a draft, kind of the first blush at the ordinance, and she needs to review it, and then we need to get it to the county attorney. Okay. The organization that was requesting it doesn't have a retail license for Sunday sales anyway, because they're I guess kind of a big package, brew pub kind of thing. So it falls under a different category. So, but yeah, we're working on it and hopefully get that over to the attorney soon and see what else we need to add to it.
All right.
Thank you for your question. All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. We are now at 7.1. The recorder is going to
provide an update on Century Farms and extend an invite to Winona County Fair Recognition Program.
This will be his shortest presentation ever.
Took off, huh?
The chocolate chip cookie contest is Friday at 3 o'clock. That's what I see.
My kids love the county fair. Just loves it.
It's the onion rings. The onion rings.
Well, they like the milkshakes from the dairy one, and then they like all the riots.
Okay, motion to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn? No, I'm kidding. Bob, you're up.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Everyone. You are really prompt today. I thought there would at least be an item or two to discuss. I have to compliment you on last week at the Board of Equalization. It was really the only nice evening of the week. And we said, yes, the commissioners are meeting. Well, looks like you've repeated that today. And with the family night on the farm today, it's the beautiful weather. Greatly appreciated.
Marcia always takes credit for the good weather. Right?
Weather, just weather.
Yeah.
Good, bad, or otherwise.
Well, the 159th Annual Winona County Fair begins in 2 weeks, officially 2 weeks from tomorrow. But between now and then, there's a very hectic pace taking place at the county fair. Lots of final plans and arrangements underway. And like much of Winona County, not very long ago, we had a considerable amount of wetness and water standing at the fair. That's pretty much all gone away and been cleaned up, and we're ready for the big days. The Fair Board asked that I greet you this morning and do a brief update. So I can say that all the annual activities are in place, the livestock judging, lots of contests. I know Marcia's most favorite of all, the apple pie contest. It's on. The Parade of Champions, and the chili contest. I think that's maybe Steve's more favorite. There's lots of musical entertainment, much of that no cost. And this year, a new item is a program on edible bugs. So I guess we certainly do, keep a wide range of interests covered at the county fair. We have a complete fair agenda that is on the county website for the fair. And if you have any questions, I just wanted to pass along the number. It's 507-932-3074. And there are folks at the fairgrounds that can answer questions. Honorees with a day at the fair this year. Very, very distinguished group, as we always have. We start Wednesday with Richard Finger Day. Long career with working with FFAers and being involved in Winona County agriculture. Thursday, Winona's own Gary Evans Day. Gary, an entrepreneur and certainly widely recognized for all of his business talents. Very, very appreciative to have Gary in the lineup. Friday, Gerald and Lila Brogan Day. They, a couple weeks ago, were very instrumental and very active with the County Dairy Association program and dinner, and they have a very long history working with dairy in Winona County. Saturday is Mike Miller Day, a businessman from St. Charles, and then Sunday is Marge Kingsley Day. These folks represent the best in Winona County. The Winona County Century Farm program this year recognizes 3 Winona County Century Farms, and we will have a recognition program as we always do at the fair. And this year we're honoring the Brennan family farm, James Brennan, and the family farm is located in Homer Valley in Homer Township, just a short distance from what we know as the residential area of Homer, and was a pioneer and recognized home settlement for the Brennan family for 100 years this year, 1917 to 2017, so exactly 100 years. The current farm is 71 acres, and the original acres on the farm were 56, and that's in Section 8 of Homer Township. Our second recipient is the Burr Oak Farms. This is Gail and Dorothea Hazy, and it's been in the family a little bit longer, this one since 1887. So we're especially proud to bring them into the Century Farm official listing. They're located on County 110. It's about halfway or three-quarters of the way between Minnesota City and Stockton, but it's right on top of the bluff. There's some beautiful views there. And for a long number of years, they were dairy farmers. And their current acreage is 772. So they have grown considerably over the years. The original acreage was 160. The neat thing about the Hazys is that a few years ago, they were our hosts for the family farm evening, which is taking place this very evening at the Speltz Farm, about 4 miles north and a little bit west from Altura. So that connection just really comes home at the Hazys. I was the assistant parking chair in the hayfield we were using. I couldn't even see the other end. There were so many cars and so many people there. And it's almost the same for this evening. Commissioner Jacob, I know, is helping, and I'm going to be helping with parking the cars. And with this weather, thanks to the commissioners, we should have just a really, really nice turnout. Our third family farm, a Century Farm, is the Newslock family farm. It's Dean Newslock, and they're located about 3.5 miles northwest of Lewiston on County Road 33. Their farm is also a Century Farm, 100 years this year. So we've got a couple folks here that have been watching this pretty closely, and it really is exciting when that 100th year comes. The farm started out with 160 acres, and today it's just a little bit over 159, so almost identical acreage in Section 8 of Utica Township. So that brings the total number of Century Farms that we've recognized to 177. And for a while, we were almost the only county fair in the state that was recognizing our Century Farms. But now it's kind of neat to report that a couple other counties have started doing this, and there seems to be somewhat of a renewed interest. And in Winona County, if you think you're coming close on 100 years, or maybe it's more than 100 and you just kind of haven't thought about it, do a quick check with our office. This only takes us about a minute or two to look back and see what that original date was and what the recording was, and we'd sure like to recognize you at the county fair. We know of some Century Farms. We'd like to recognize them, but that is really an individual's decision for that recognition, and sometimes it just takes a family member, takes a younger family member, somebody new to the family. They get the interest, and pretty soon we're talking to them, and we can recognize them at the county fair. So we'd sure like to. Okay, tonight I just want to mention Speltz Farm. I have an address. It's 14516 County Road 31, and a little bit northwest of Altura. And there will be, it is a beautiful dairy farm, and there's going to be lots to see. So we look forward to seeing everyone. The recognition program at the fair, just a couple weeks off now. Want to invite all the commissioners and all Winona County residents, friends and neighbors to attend. We will at that time, of course, honor our 3 Century Farms, but we'll also be honoring the Fair King and Queen. We will have outstanding senior citizens that are recognized, and then we will have the induction in the Hall of Fame, and those are the 5 folks that I told you about just a minute ago. It takes place at 2 o'clock on Thursday, July 13th, and it will be at the entertainment tent on the fairgrounds, and we're looking forward to seeing all of you and a number of others and guests that usually attend, and our congratulatory line, and we're hoping that all of you will join that. The county attorney and all others here, you're all invited. Pat Moga, we'd like to see you at the fair too. All right.
We're counting on 72 degrees, Marcia.
Yes.
72,
Did you put the
light
order
breeze,
in?
light breeze.
Light breeze.
Nice.
72, that'd be perfect.
Okay, and I'd like to thank the Fair Board for asking that I, appear before you today and bring the greeting and the invitation to attend the fair, all the events, and that will be in addition to the recognition program on Thursday afternoon.
Well, Bob, I think we owe you a great
Oh, yes.
deal. Because you put together such a great program. I mean, I have newcomers come to the county, and I say, if you need to know anything, just ask Bob Bamenek. He is a wealth of information. And it's great that you go to the work to present this on the Thursday. Thank you very much. You're absolutely right. Going around the state and meeting with other commissioners, and this Century Farms is picking up. They're intrigued by it, that they didn't realize there was such a deal. I said, yeah, we make a good show, a production of it, and people appreciate that. It's historical.
177 is remarkable.
Yes.
It is. And a few years ago, it was at the State Fair, and the State Fair decided that with, more requests for the space that they had available, some others ranked higher, and they moved in some new features. Meanwhile, they moved the Century Farm recognition to the counties. And many counties then just sent the, I didn't mention this, and I should, that each person does receive a beautiful certificate and a yard sign. They started sending those to the counties, and the counties just kind of, passed them out to the folks, and that was the extent of it. And here, that's our heritage, and we're very, very proud to recognize it. So, Marcia, yes, thank you, and thank you for those comments. So, again, nice yard sign. That certificate is signed by the governor, and we do have a couple of additional sponsors, and one of those is Minnesota Farm Bureau. So we appreciate their support, along with the Winona County Fair and the Winona County Board. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
For committee reports and such, I would turn to Marcia Ward.
Okay. We had a AMC, Association Minnesota Counties board meeting the other day, and AMC is really trying to be very proactive in how they're approaching. And I shared with you earlier is that we realize as an organization working with the legislators, our approach is effective, but it needs to be more effective. And Julie Ring, the leader of the AMC, is putting together more policy work groups. And this summer now, we're going to have policy work groups that really get into very specific issues to make presentations to legislators or the people who make decisions. And so there will be information coming out about these, but they include federal policy development, data practices. We're being asked to retain more and more, and at what cost. Courthouse costs. We all realize there was a small grant, but not anywhere near enough for what the courts want to be done there. No net gain of public lands. This is very critical up north where DNR and everybody keeps buying more and more land, and we have smaller chunks, but then it doesn't equal the taxes. Predictable funding for soil and water conservation districts. Commissioner Jacob, this you might find very interesting. There's a continuing lobby for soil and water to get levy authority, and is that something that wants to happen? Day training and rehabilitation. This is like our Development Achievement Center and how we fund those and the demand and how those programs go forward. METS funding, that's the eligibility for most of our human service programs, and where the state of Minnesota has not stepped up and done the the computer work to make that thing flow. And again, the burden falls on the counties, and some counties have hired numerous staff to meet that demand, and so there's a funding issue. And then, of course, transportation funding. Where do we go? Yes, they passed somewhat of a bill, some, but it's again not adequate. So this will be coming up. These policy work groups are going to happen this summer, and anybody that's interested from across the state will be asked to join in. Some will be face-to-face meetings. Some will be you can do via the media. But it's important that Winona County be at have their name at these meetings, because we will set a new trend for working with legislators. The other thing, AMC hired a new associate management specialist, Betsy Hammer. She's going to be focused on environmental issues, the solid waste management, which is always a big topic, and she comes from the state of California and has a lot of good experiences, so she'll be joining the staff. Ken did, I was not able to, but Ken did listen in NACO, the National Association, had a phone thing on the federal health care and what impact it may and may not have. And there's a lot going on, and nobody knows yet, but stay tuned for that. And those were kind of the highlights of the board meeting. They're really looking forward to working on policy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Jacob.
Yeah, just reiterate pretty much what Bob's already been over about family night on the farm tonight. Parking at Rolling Stone, I think Rolling Stone School, and busing up to the farm for people who want to come from this area. And certainly want to thank the Spells family for their hospitality up there and all they do for the community. So yeah, that's all I had.
There being nothing else, entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. We have a motion by Commissioner Jacob, second by Commissioner Bessie to adjourn. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, motion carries. We are adjourned.